Hi everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw the Grinch. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. There will even be one for color. So for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and then get us going. Alright, I know where I'm going to go with this. I know the pose I want to put him in. I have him very big and fat and jolly. And standing here, all Grinched out. I just got to try to find the pose, or find the footing, I guess, because I'm working on the feet. And then we'll start sketching, or we'll start inking. But like I said, I know the pose I want to get him in, and I've got him in kind of a, you know, his little Grinchy attitude. That's the best way I can say it. And it's going to be a little trick to how to make fur with Sharpie, and not go too crazy, you know. But yeah, I know where I want to go with it, so I just got to try to make it work. And I've got it kind of my version, you know, where he's not really a cartoon, but he's not 100% real. It's almost like what's the Jim Carrey one, The Grinch, you know, that one that came out. It's almost like that, where it's not quite cartoonish, but it's still based on a real person. Like, you can put a real person in this outfit, maybe like a costume, you know, like if he was the Grinch for Christmas, or for Halloween, you know, maybe that's kind of what I can do, or what I'll call my style, you know, more Halloween styles. Okay, and so I've got the pose, so now I'm going to work on the detail. And usually what I always tell everybody is don't work on the detail until you get the pose, because if you go too far and you have to start erasing, or, you know, you start inking, you start straight with ink, you might realize that, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that, but it's too late because you've already started and you're all the way down here, you know? So it's better to sketch everything out in the pose, get it where you want it, and then you can add the fun detail, you know? So this hand I'm going to have just kind of, let's see, kind of out. The nice thing is he's got those big long furry fingers, so I'm just going to kind of stick them out like this, and then we'll come back in and add a little fun detail there, you know, because I got his hand on his hip is basically what I've got there. All right, not bad. We're pretty close. And for this hand, I think I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to look in the mirror real quick and draw like his knuckles, or his fingers where he's holding the bag. I'm going to have his infamous Christmas sack over his shoulder, you know, because he just stole all the presents. And that also is going to hide a few details, like his other arm is going to be kind of behind all that. I didn't plan on that, but the way I just sketched it out, it looks like that's what's going to happen, because it's all over on that side. Let me find a good picture of his face. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, you know what I should do? Let me see if I can pull this off. Do like a, yeah, he's gonna have like a squinty eye. You know, that you know, he's kind of looking crooked. Something like that. All right, I got kind of a little pouty mouth on him too. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. I like this. The trick is I'm gonna have to try to erase some of this for his for when I switch over to the Sharpies. So I gotta try to figure out how to still make it look right. Let's see. Now the hat kind of all off to the side here. His little sock hat or whatever he made it out of, that garbage that he put it all together with. Yeah, I think that might work. Let me look at some more pictures of his face real fast just to make sure I've got enough detail that you can tell that it's him. Yeah, that's great. I think that's gonna work. Okay. All right, I think that's good. I think I am ready to jump over. Yeah, let's do that. Let me erase some of these lines. So like I said, it's gonna be tricky because I need some of these, but I don't want all of this sketch to be in the drawing. So I'm gonna erase as much as I can, but leave as much as I can. I'm gonna erase, but not erase. Does that make sense? We want the confidence lines, but not the sketchy lines. It looks like that's what's disappearing, so I think this is gonna work out. What do you think? Would you not touch this with a 99.5-foot pole? Okay. I am ready to go. I say we welcome everybody that skipped over to this portion of the video. And welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Thank you for watching any portion of this video. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point, and I can use it for the tiny details because I can control line widths much better with this than with that. So for now, I'm going to start off with the tiny details like the eyes and the face and work my way out. I've already sketched the entire thing and I've erased a lot of the dark lines, so there's just a faint sketch there that'll help guide me for this drawing. So here we're gonna go. I got him standing with his sack over his shoulder. Ooh, I gotta remember to do the sack. I just kind of stopped. There, that'll work. Booyah, all right, so here we go. So I'm gonna start off with his eyes, and I've got him kind of a squinty side eye. He's kind of, you know, looking off. So I'm gonna draw his eye, the top of his eyelid like this, but I've got him kind of, like I said, squinty and low. So I'm gonna draw the pupil or the retina and then the pupil like that, just kind of looking off to the side. And here's where it's going to get tricky because I can only do so much detail with this before it starts bleeding. So I want to draw some stuff, but be very careful here. So he's got those big lady lashes, you know, those who lashes. Right, because I'm kind of basing this off of the movie version, not the cartoon version. Okay, so I'm also going to give him angry brows. So something like this. Make him kind of thick and kind of, you know, flaring up like that. Okay, I like it. I like it. This is coming up pretty good. Okay, so, oh, another thing too, if you're new to this, I don't really draw underneath the eye with this Sharpie because it'll start to bleed. So you're welcome to if you can, but I gotta limit my my lines that I put on here, and so I have to get strategic with what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna give him some angry crease lines, you know, because he's the Grinch. He's all foul. Okay, so we're gonna draw his nose. Kind of like a dog nose, you know, that little dip in the middle, and then the wings on the side like that, and it's black, but I'm going to worry about that with color. I'm going to draw his pouty mouth, and I've got him just kind of like that, and I'm going to draw his lip, just a little bit of it, like that. I'm going to draw a line for his muzzle, you know? And I'm going to, let's see, should I draw? Yeah, I should do a few of these lines for his mouth, his muzzle. I don't want to do too much, but I got to do something, right? I gotta put something in there. So I'm just gonna kind of play real lightly, like this. Don't connect it, but just kind of come down and do this, like that. All right. Looks kind of like a droopy dog, doesn't it? Okay, so now I got to play with the hairlines that I can draw without going too crazy. So I'm going to draw a few like this, and just to indicate that there's something there, you know. I mostly want to do it with color, but I got to do a little something for his face that's kind of furry, you know what I mean? Okay, and so I think I'm going to do the hat. I'm going to go ahead and do a line for the hat just so I know where it is, and I can draw off of that, see? Something like that. Not too bad, not too bad. How's yours coming out? I like mine. Very Droopy Dog, but it's Grinch, you know? Do you know who Droopy Dog is? A little cartoon guy. And I can't even talk like him. I was going to say, and he talks like this, but I can't do it. That sounds nothing like him, right? But he's funny. I used to like him. All right, I think I'm going to stop there with the hair and work my way out. No, I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do like this, just because I saw it. I could see the edge. And I'm like, you know what I need to do? I need to put a few more little bumps like this. And what I want to try to do too is kind of match the Sharpie I'm about to start using, which is super thick. I'm doing this. You don't have to. If you're using a pencil, you just stick with what you're doing. I'm doing this to kind of match the Sharpie that's about to happen, which is really, really thick. And you're going to see a huge difference between that thickness and this thickness. So that's why I was trying to play around with these lines just a little bit more to marry what's about to happen. Okay, so which I'm going to show you, because I'm going to switch over now. All right. Okay, so he's going to be wearing his Santa hat. He's in the Santa costume, by the way. So I'm going to draw kind of a raggedy brim of the big white of the hat. Do something kind of like this. And like I said, I'm going to draw it kind of a little raggedy, you know, because he made it out of garbage, you know. I'm going to thicken this line up a little bit. And so I'm going to go all the way across. And again, I'm just kind of making it my style by doing it that too, you know. All right. It looks almost like a Hawaiian hula punch. Have you ever seen never mind. I'm going to keep asking you always, have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen that? Let's just keep going. So I'm going to draw his hat here. I'm going to just draw the bump of it up like that, because that's the top of his head coming down. Then I'm going to do kind of something like this for that mangly old ball that's on the end, you know. Then I'll take this Sharpie and I'll just kind of do something like that. Just kind of mangle it up a little bit, you know. All right. Okay. All right, so same thing I'm going to do. He's got that, you know, that fur suit coming around here, so I'm just going to kind of, again, mangle that up too. And it's got a middle to it, so I'm going to draw kind of around his belly too, the way I did it. So watch what I'm doing. I'm going to go down, little fur, go around like that and come down. So we're going to kind of bulge it out a little bit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And same thing, going to go down, bulge it out just a little bit like that. See how we kind of, we made it, we showed that he had a belly by drawing it like that, and we didn't have to, you know, do too much to get that effect. And so now I'm just kind of playing around with you know, the grunginess of it, the dirt of it, because like I said, he made this out of garbage, right? I mean, I know he can sew and whatnot, but just kind of, you know, wrinkling it up, making it dirty. All right. So let's see. So now I'm going to draw the sack and the hand, because that's going to be in front. So I'm going to draw I know it looks like I'm just drawing stuff out there, but I've already sketched it out so I know where everything is going. So I'm going to draw the sack like this. Like that. I'm going to draw the other end, kind of real cartoonish, you know. I'm going to draw some lines because it's all bunged up right there in his hand. Thicken that up a little bit. Okay. Gonna make that right there. I'm gonna do that. And so now I'm gonna draw his hand. Now I've got his hand over the sack, and of course his thumb is over his hand, but because he's got those long fingers, his thumb is gonna be kind of way out like this. Okay, so in doing that, I'm gonna kind of do something like this, and that'll take care of the thumb. So see, it's over these fingers, which I'm just going to kind of do something like this, because that's the nice thing, is we're getting away with hiding a few things with his crazy hand. So see, we're getting away with a few different things. There's the cuff around his arm, but it's covered up because of everything that's in front of it. So sometimes when you do stuff first in front, you're kind of getting away with not having to draw everything because you can't see it, you know. Okay, so same thing, I'm just going to do the sack lines like that, just to show, like we did here, that it's all, you know, wadded up around his shoulder. And so now I'm going to draw this other arm over here. And so I'm going to draw his jacket kind of like this, all beat up, you know. And I want to do, you know how I like to do, my creases and folds. Something like that. Okay, so same thing, we're going to draw the cuff of his Santa coat. Again, kind of ratted and beat up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so same thing about this hand. When I was sketching out, I was talking about this. He's got those really long furry fingers, so we're going to kind of add a little bit extra to his hand, okay? So I've got it basically bent in like this because it's on his hip, but this part's touching his hip, so it's kind of doing this, okay? So see how I'm doing that? So this finger's going to go way out, that one's like this. That's basically what we're going to do. So I'm going to draw something like this, and that's, again, his hand all bent over. And I'm going to do his pinky too. So I'm going to do it like this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. How it's bent, pinky, right? But super long like that, okay? So the same thing with this finger. And again, see how I'm just kind of making it kind of ratty? That's okay. We can do it like that. So we can kind of get away with you know, not drawing a perfectly straight finger. And this one, that was the middle finger, so now we just got to do the first finger. Like that. And we'll draw the kind of the thumb in there like that, okay? It's tucked back behind so you can't quite see it. So there you go, a little bit of style, a little bit of, you know, your own take on Fuzzy Finger Grinch. Old Grinchy fingers. All right. Okay, so now we just got to draw the rest of his suit. So I'm going to draw his belt. I'm going to draw the big old buckle, kind of like that. And of course, every buckle's got a little latch where it locks on. Draw the other edges of the buckle like that. And we'll just do a little bit of, just because we can, a little bit of technique, a little bit of circle like that. Put one over here, put one over here, and then we'll do one more right there. All right, so now I'm going to draw the rest of his belt and come in like this. And come over like this. Because it's got to hold on something, right? So, same thing. Like that. All right, so see, we made him look nice and fat, by the way we did it. So I'm also going to make him look nice and fat by bulging it out just a little bit like that, bulging it out just a little bit like that, and then I'm going to do the fur, just kind of like we did there. So it's going to continue down like this. Same thing, continue down. And this one's going up because I've got it, you know, kind of up on his hip, coming down around. Again, just kind of making some little, you know, material, cotton, dirty, garbage suit is what he has basically, you know. And you don't have to do all this. Like I said, I'm just kind of doing something just to kind of rough it up. Color is going to take care of a lot of it too, but I wanted to make it look dirty, you know. All right. Okay, so now we just got to draw his legs, and I can't forget about the sack. I'm gonna forget. I just got to remind myself, don't forget. Okay, so we're going to draw his legs. I'm just going to do kind of like I did here. I'm going to draw anatomy, but a little fuzzy anatomy. So I kind of do this, you know. And he's the Grinch. He doesn't have any pants on. So I'm just going to kind of follow my anatomy sketch and then draw his toe kind of dirty up like that, you know, kind of you'll see when I do this one what I'm talking about. So here I'm going to do the other leg kind of tucked in behind, so he's basically standing like this, okay? So the other leg is going to come down and tuck in back behind it like that. So I'm going to draw the other toe and a front toe like that. So see how I got it kind of curled up? Again, making it my own, making it my style. The movie didn't quite have it like that, but mine does. And there's his other toes like that. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do is add a few little details. I'm going to give him a knee, a few little more what do you call it, fur look to it, you know, a few little more wisps, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Something like that. Don't go too crazy. I always do. So I'm just trying to caution you. Don't do like I do. Do your own. Do your own craziness. Don't do my craziness. All right. I need to stop because I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to start drawing all the lines. And I don't need to do that. I need to let color take care of a little bit. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right there before I go too crazy. So I say we oh, I did it again. I almost did it again. So I got to do this, the sack. All right. So I'm going to do the sack. I got it over his shoulder. I got it coming down here like this. Gonna go back up like that. Look good? Awesome. Let's do a few more extra little stress lines just because we know the weight of what's in there, you know? And because also this is how we draw. We are the controllers. We are the ones who make it. All right, so there we go. I say we let the rest, the color take care of the rest, and that is the Grinch. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.